I want to start things off a little differently today. For those of y'all who don't know, we had two tragedies to talk about. The first one was a local tragedy, and I'm talking about the sudden passing of Thomas Bradley Duncan, or as we all affectionately know him as Tito. Passed away on Monday. I tell you, he was one of the most amazing musicians that I've ever heard, like ever. If you ever went to one of his shows and you were in a bad mood when you got there, you were definitely in a great mood when you left, because anytime he performed, anytime he sung, it just left you with a smile on your face. And well, my thoughts and prayers are with his family and his fiance, and hopefully we will see him again, because I'll always say in the wake of someone's passing that, and I don't care what anyone says, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, and we will see him again today, and he's probably up in heaven right now making some awesome music. So Tito, we'll see you on the other side, brother. And another tragedy I want to talk about is a global one, and that was the bombing in Manchester, England, where that cost the lives of 21 people, and it injured hundreds more. And it was an act of terrorism. And even though there's not an act of war going on, terrorism still exists. War still exists. Hopefully, with the combined efforts of our U.S. military and then other militaries throughout the world, we can finally put these guys to rest. But I just ask that you keep your thoughts and your prayers with all the families of those whose lives were lost in Manchester, and also keep your thoughts and prayers with the family of Tito. Thank you. Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Clint's Comics right here in Monroe, Louisiana. And this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. And in observance, I made this Memorial Day Comic Hero tee. Y'all can see close enough. Now you can see inside the speech bubble there's camouflage, and then there's distorted diamond plates, and then of course on the left sleeve the American flag. Now, Memorial Day is when we observe the men and women who served in all 5 branches of the U.S. military who are no longer with us. And I don't personally know anyone who's deceased that served in the U.S. military, but I know of some people, and I know the families of some people who are deceased. And my thoughts and prayers continue to go out to y'all. All right, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, in last week's episode, I asked, before Mary Jane Watson, who was Spider-Man's love interest? Well, the answer is Gwen Stacy. And 9 people answered correctly, and because they have answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee, and that takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... This past weekend, I went over to Southern Rails Comics and Games in Ruston, and I primarily went over there to drop off some comic hero tees that I made for the store. But while I was over there, I saw a few tees that I was missing, or tees that I need to catch up on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and reveal what they are, but I'm not going to give a brief description. After all, you need to watch the show. Alright, first up is Superman number 23. Titans number 11. Justice League number 18. Justice League number 19. Justice League number 20. Justice League number 21. And finally, U.S. Avengers number 6. Alright, that's 7, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,964. Mike Hart from Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Mike. You winner yourself a free comic hero tee. All right, here's the question for next week's episode, and this one is a real easy one if you follow the X-Men. Who is Nightcrawler's biological mother? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now, D'Angelo Blue from Warren, Ohio, has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features 2 blonde guys, one from the comics and one video game character. They may be blonde, but they'll kick your butt. And they won't kill you, but they'll make you wish you were dead. Representing Marvel, we have Daredevil. And representing Mortal Kombat, we have Kenshi. These 2 are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Daredevil versus Kenshi. Daredevil possesses peak human physical and mental condition, is a highly skilled acrobat, martial artist, and hand-to-hand combatant who possesses radar sense, superhuman senses, and utilization of a specially designed club. Kenshi possesses agility, danger sense, stealth, super hearing, super smell, swordsmanship, telekinesis, teleportation, tracking, unarmed combat, and is a weapon master. Who will win? These guys may be blind, but don't be fooled. Kenshi starts this fight off by going stealth. Daredevil, via his radar sense, isn't fooled and goes upside Kenshi's head with his club. Daredevil then goes on offense and uses a combination of his acrobatic skills and martial arts prowess by attempting a somersault/savin kick combo, but Kenshi uses his telekinesis to block the attack. After minutes of blocking and countering each other's attack, Kenshi knows he has to end this fight. He then grabs his sword Sento and charges towards Daredevil. Just as the latter is about to dodge the attack, Kenshi teleports. He then reappears behind the man without fear and guts him like a fish with Sento. Kenshi wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and if you have fight requests for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Uncanny Avengers number 23. Now, I'm still a little behind on this book. The last time I read it was when it was a tie-in to Civil War II. Now, this Uncanny Avengers team is also known as the Unity Squad, and it was founded by Captain America. When I mean Captain America, I mean Steve Rogers. now their characters. I mean, the reason why I was calling them Unity Squad because it's a melting pot of members in terms of whether they're a mutant, an Inhuman, or just some, or just some metahuman or what have you. Some of the members are members like the Human Torch, the original Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, Synapse, Deadpool, and Brother Voodoo. Oh, and also Rogue is a member of the Uncanny Avengers. And in this issue, Wonder Man returns, but the only concern that I have is he friend or foe? All right, next up is All New Guardians of the Galaxy #2. Now, I haven't read the first one. I'm still trying to get caught up with several other books, and I can't read every one, not all in one day. Definitely not all in 1 week. But Jerry Duggan writes this book. He pretty much has the baton handed to him from Brian Michael Bendis, who had an amazing run on the previous volume. And this one features the essential Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm talking about Star-Lord, Drax, Gamora, Groot, and Rocket. And yeah. All right, next up is Steve Rogers, Captain America, #17. This is the first issue of this book that's a tie-in to Secret Empire, which really much centers around Steve Rogers. And now, in previous issues of the book, he starts to set in motion becoming the new leader of Hydra, and he even kills the Red Skull. Now, and then, if that's not enough, after he kills the Red Skull, some of the Red Skull's allies, including his own daughter Sin, pledge their allegiance to him, and they bow down. I haven't even started reading Secret Empire, but I can't wait to, because woo! Steve Rogers against the entire Marvel Universe. As Bubba Sparks would say, and I say this quite a lot, it's gonna get ugly in here, up in here, up in here. All right, next up is Action Comics #980. This is part of a story arc entitled Revenge, where a Superman Revenge Squad, this guy named Oz ends up bringing together all these characters, all these villains, some of them classic, like the Eradicator, Metallo, and Blanc, and then also the Cyborg Superman, and then they also recruit Mongol, who of course in the pre-Flashpoint DC universe was one of Superman's deadliest villains. And then if that's not enough, they end up going to the Fortress of Solitude, and they in the Himalayas, and they end up stealing the Oblivion Stone. Now, the only reason they stole the Oblivion Stone, I got one word for you: Zod. All right, next up is Detective Comics #957. Now, I'm very behind on this book, but this book pretty much is a team book. It not only features Batman, but it also, now before, after DC Rebirth last year, it featured him, Red Robin, Orphan, Spoiler, Batwoman, and Clayface. Now, at the end of the first story arc entitled Rise of the Batman, the Robin mysteriously disappears and is caught by Oz, who is this guy that's pretty much been watching over the entire DC universe ever since the events of Rebirth last year. Now the entire Bat team presumes him dead, although he's not. And a lot of other crazy stuff been going on, including Batwoman finally branching out again, which is expected because Batwoman has been a pretty good solo character ever since she made her debut years ago. But Clayface being a member of the Bat team, I guess that works. Oh, by the way, this Clayface that's a member is Basil Carlo. All right, next up is Wonder Woman number 23. This is part of the continuing story arc entitled The Truth. And I'm a little behind on this book also. Greg Rucka has written this entire series so far with alternating artists, with Liam Sharp doing the art in an odd number of books, and Nicola Scott doing the artwork in an even number of books. I mean, alternating artists, alternating story arcs, same writer, and it works.
I'm ready to door.
All right. Next up is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps, number 21. Now I'm very behind on this book. The last time I read, Kyle Rayner gave up all the light of the emotional spectrum with except one, and that's green. So he's now so not only is he a full-fledged Green Lantern, he's also wearing his original costume from the 90s. And then some guy named Rip Hunter shows up on Mogo with the Green Lantern ring, and he claims to be a time traveler. And then finally, The Flash number 22. This is part 4 of a story arc entitled The Button. And it starts out with the button that was left behind by, I think, Dr. Manhattan. And, well, it's in the Batcave, and Batman has it right next to the Psycho Pirate's mask.
Thanks a lot, man.
Well, lightning struck from the button on the Psycho, or better yet, the Psycho Pirate's mask struck lightning on the button, and all of a sudden Professor Zoom comes out of nowhere, and he almost beats Batman to death. But then he ends up grabbing a button, and then he disappears. But then he reappears again, and he starts to decay, and he dies. And by the time Flash got there, he was already dead, and Batman was beat within an inch of his life. All right, that's 8 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 7,972. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. Who is Nightcrawler's biological mother? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show, and congratulations to Mike Hart from right here in Monroe, Louisiana, who won a free tee in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday this past Monday to my good friend from Homer, Louisiana, Gina Hutton. Happy birthday this Tuesday to a friend that I've known since pre-K, and we've been very good friends ever since, Jeff Moore. Happy birthday yesterday to one of my friends that I went to college with at Bossier Parish Community College, Neil Rambin. Happy birthday today to the co-owner of Stroke of Genius here in Monroe, Louisiana, Andrew Brown.
Oh, imagine that.
Happy birthday tomorrow to one of my friends that I was in band with at Bossier Parish Community College, Allison Hopper. Happy birthday tomorrow to one of my friends that I was in the trumpet section in the Sound Today at ULM with, Dylan Davis. Happy birthday tomorrow to one of my fellow graduates of the class of 2000 from Homer High School, Lauren Murphy. And also happy birthday tomorrow to one of my friends that I was also in the class of 2000 with at Homer High School, Mary Kate Smith. And happy birthday tomorrow to my friend from Bossier Parish Community College, Michelle Bryant. Happy birthday this Friday to one of my mom's classmates from Homer High School, Mrs. Alice Tesano. Happy birthday on Saturday to one of my friends that I was in the trumpet section in the Sound Today with at ULM, Caleb Finn. A happy birthday to Saturday to one of my friends that I went to school with at Homer for a few years, Deanne Knighton. And happy birthday to one of my other classmates from Homer High School in the class of 2000, Xavier Cooper. And happy birthday this Sunday to one of my friends that I was in band with in the Sound Today at ULM, Faith Adcock. All right, I'm 28 away from 8,000 comics. I almost said 7,000, but that was 2 years ago. 28 away. I'm definitely not going to do it next week. Although I might jinx myself. But I want to thank everyone who has voted for voted for the number font choice for the 8,000 Comics tee. And right now, here is what the number font that got the most votes. Check it out. All right, I want to thank everyone for voting, and your votes will not go in vain. I have something special that's going to occur when I get to on the episode where I get to 8,000 comics. Just y'all wait. All right, well, I hope y'all have a happy Memorial Day weekend. Remember why we celebrate Memorial Day. We honor the fallen men and women who have served in all 5 branches of the U.S. military who are no longer with us. And also we honor other people that have fallen who aren't necessarily military. All right, I'm Victor Nutley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 168 right back here at Clint's Comics. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero. In last week's episode, I asked, oh man, blooper reel. I forgot what I asked last week.